Hey, it's Demonator_4 or Demonator What If with today's video. We're continuing Magic the Gathering. My legs hurt. I've been working all day. So do forgive me if this is a mildly shorter one. Right. Let's just get right into it. Give me 1 second so I can switch over the scene. So here we have this is the fictional one. That's another What If. I know this is what happens in Wilds of Eldraine. Alright. To continue what we were doing yesterday, we are going to go straight into Wilds of Eldraine. Let me put some headphones on, so that's not too much of a bother. I can't feel my legs. Or rather, the only thing I feel when I try to feel my legs is like subtle pain. Alright, give me 1 second. Bluetooth connected. Alright. Alright. We should be chilling. That Suzuki the Living Law looked pretty interesting, I can't lie. Alright, this is someone called...
Magic Arcanum.
This fella is Magic Arcanum. Ryan Gomez. Alright. I've never seen any of this guy's videos before. I was just trying to look for something to summarize that story.
I'm Ryan Gomez. Behind the scenes is Nicole Burdick, and we're so glad you're here because it's story time. Wilds of Eldraine returns us to the game's most enchanting plane and kicks off the post-Phyrexian invasion arc, in which Omen Paths and Desparked Planeswalkers have become the main focus. Within this set, you'll find over a dozen story spotlight cards meant to show the major events and characters from the official supporting story. And here is Imodane, who already lost an arm and had it replaced with one made of enchanted wood, by the way, and she doesn't want to see any more blood spilled, even if it is supposed to bring the realm together. Nevertheless, Will and Imodane go at it, and Will is almost immediately defeated before Rowan rescues him by firing off a bolt of lightning big enough to shatter a nearby mountaintop. It was impulsive, but she thought the display of power would help everyone chill out. Instead, Imodane flees into the woods in terror, and Will is less than happy with Rowan's outburst. As the dust settles from that, the story cuts over to a distant village so remote it was untouched by the Phyrexian invasion.
Alright, basically, I like this format where instead of someone trying to tell you the story as if he was reading a book and just making up shit, it's just like, what is happening here? That's what's happening.
And here we meet a 16-year-old boy named Kellen, who
throws out of water. I might be cooked.
Mostly because the other kids in the village tease him and ask if the rumors about his parentage are true.
I'm gonna bet that yes, it is true.
They think
Spoiler.
He's really the son of a fae. And obviously, if you look at his card, that ends up being true.
Yep. Yeah.
But we're not supposed to know that at this part of the story, so just play along, okay? Okay. Anyway, Kellen chats with his mom and stepdad about his trouble with bullies, but the whole time...
I'll be honest, if I were his stepdad, I would fucking want to kill myself. I just basically would... Like, all my understanding is, oh yeah, so previously you had a shape-shifting minor demigod blowing your back out and had your kid, and we're never going to have kills together. That's just not happening. It's just a bit sad. I refuse to, anyway.
And he's thinking about how he would rather be off in the woods. It's almost like the wilds are calling to him. We then
because he's Fey-blooded.
And Rowan, now at Castle Vantris, where the mages are trying to uncover the secrets behind a magical
That's a cool looking card
that has gripped the plane. This enchanted slumber was a big help during the Phyrexian invasion because it basically stopped the intruders in their tracks, but the effect has lingered even after the danger has passed, and nobody on Will's council has figured out why. Rowan is frustrated and argues with Will about strategy for moving forward.
You don't care about her?
Both of them want to help people and fix the realm, but they are of different minds for how best to do that. Ultimately, Rowan decides to set out on her own, and she leaves the castle, believing her time at Strixhaven taught her to seek out magical solutions to magical problems. So that's what she's gonna go do. Meanwhile...
That's a weird interpretation of what happened at Strixhaven, because she didn't beat it due to finding magical... Never mind.
Kellen is out for a stroll when a magical door suddenly appears before him, which he recognizes from his mother's stories as a Fae's invitation to talk. He passes through the door and finds himself before Lord Talion, who asks Kellen if he is pure of heart.
No.
Kellen says he's not sure, but he'd like to be, and Talion
type shit.
knows Kellen's real father, and would be willing to share that information if Kellen would complete a quest.
I low-key prefer the I'm liking the sound of the Faye storyline more than I give a flying fuck about Rowan and Wales, because they butchered Rowan. Or they took all the worst bits about Rowan and just accentuated them. It feels the same way about how they made the new Avatar Last Airbender movie and actively made sure that no one would enjoy it.
Talion goes on to tell Kellen that 3 witches control the enchanted slumber, and if Kellen can defeat all 3 of them, he'll be a hero of the realm, and he'll earn himself the truth about his own origins.
I really enjoy the way this guy says it, talks. I don't know what it is. Is it the subtlety, the chillness? It's just a really down to earth vibe to watch. I'm just enjoying it. I'm taking in the information. It's great. The 2 dudes are in charge of this channel. Kudos. Kudos to you two.
Agrees to this, and now we have a nice little parallel going with both Kellen and Rowan out looking for answers and trying to save the realm on their own.
Yeah, but one is evil and one is a good guy.
As it turns out, Rowan would get a little push to move her along as well. One night, she has a dream in which her mother and father appear, and they tell her to come back to Castle Ardenvale, which has been abandoned since the invasion. Her father even says her blood awaits her there, which prompts Rowan to set off on her own grim search for the meaning of this vivid yet mysterious dream. Around the same time, Kellen is about to touch a sleeping man out of curiosity when he is stopped by a girl named Ruby, who tells him that the enchanted slumber seems to be spreading, but nobody's quite sure how. Even so, it's probably
Okay, so she's
wiser
Red Riding
not
Hood.
to touch someone under the curse. Ruby then
Good fucking boy. I like this. I like this guy. Oh, he's too chill for me.
tells Kellen he should stop asking where the nearest witch is, because everyone in town knows he's looking for one now, and drawing a witch's attention to yourself is never a good idea. Kellen then asks Ruby for useful advice, and she says, well, you should really talk to my brother Peter, because he knows these lands better than anyone, but I haven't seen him in several days myself. Realizing this could be the first step in his noble quest, Kellen pledges to help Ruby find her brother, and so the 2 of them set off together into the nearby forest. They walk for a bit.
So vibes. It is just Red Riding Hood. That her whole story is just being Red Riding Hood. It's a Red Riding Hood fanfic. I understand. I'm assuming this is just meant to be like a classical Germanic fairy tale style like story. That's all the connections. Side note: setting up a laptop is really a pain in the ass. Why does it take so long, and why do I have to do so many things? I'm just gonna move it in front of me so I'm not like looking away. That way, at least I look like I'm giving attention, if necessary.
With Ruby explaining the presence of the Phyrexian corpses to Kellen, who hadn't seen one yet, when they are suddenly attacked by a fearsome-looking knight in wolf armor. The 2 make a run for it, with Ruby leading the way, and they stumble right into a den of witch stalkers, which are known to attack magical creatures. Ruby plows right through them, and Kellen follows, nervous because he knows he might be at least half Fae, and thus magical himself, but the stalkers let him pass, and then they turn their attention to the following wolf knight. It's the knight's turn to run.
He looks cool as fuck.
Stalkers, which gives the kids a chance to notice the cabin in a nearby clearing. It's dark with glowing windows, and it's surrounded by purple mist, so Kellen correctly figures the witch he's looking for lives here. He sneaks closer to peer inside. He sees the witch, who is named Agatha,
Hold on.
tending to her cauldron, and tied up next to it is...
She's definitely not suspicious at all, is she now? Okay. After like a solid minute of work, I finally managed to get this thing to work.
A knight, who Ruby explains, is about to be turned into stew. The sudden return of the Wolf Knight forces Kellen into action. He goes into the house and charges at Agatha and knocks her into her own bubbling cauldron. He then works to untie the captured knight, who we recognize is Imodane, who was also tasked by Talion to kill Agatha, but she was defeated by the witch's champion. That champion is now entering the house, and Imodane is in no shape to fight him, but fortunately she won't have to, because the Wolf Knight takes off his helmet and reveals himself to be Ruby's brother, Peter. He had been cursed by Agatha, so with her boiling alive in the cauldron, the spell was broken, and he is relieved to see his sister is unharmed. Peter offers to help however he can as thanks for freeing him from his service to the witch, and Kellen gets him to drag the cauldron outside, where another door to Talion's court has already opened, with the cauldron serving as proof.
Whoa, that's cool as fuck. That's a beautiful looking card. The magic mirror. No maximum hand size. At the end of your upkeep, put a knowledge counter, then draw a card for each knowledge counter on the magic mirror.
Agatha's defeat,
Very nice.
Kellen is given information about his
You know,
target.
couldn't you put the magic mirror in like a deck and have a whole deck built around the idea of proliferating and drawing cards?
But first,
that could be interesting.
He must make a detour up a beanstalk to consult the magic mirror in Drellon, which has apparently been stolen by giants. Before we can get to that,
what now?
Switch back over to Rowan.
Okay, so okay, yeah, no. Now he's got Jack and the Beanstalk. All right.
Remains of Castle Ardenvale. It is now a restless fortress filled with slumbering knights she used to know and train with. The knights attack her. Their bodies moved into action by the wispy tendrils of purple smoke signify the enchanted sleep. Rowan tries to be merciful and push them back rather than harm them, but eventually they start to overwhelm her, so she justifies more drastic measures by saying it's the only way to end this quickly. Eventually, Rowan makes it through the knights and comes face to face with Ashiok, a planeswalker who still has a spark and has been serving as a sort of mentor to someone here in the castle. Ashiok clarifies they are not responsible for the slumber magic, but agree to introduce Rowan to the witch who is, and that's Ariat, waiting in the next room. Ariat says it's an honor to finally meet Rowan, who she notes looks a lot like her mother. Rowan considers that a sick joke because Rowan's real mother was a witch who had intended to drink Rowan and her brother Will's blood shortly after they were born, before they were rescued by Lyndon, who then adopted them.
I am back.
But Ariat continues to talk, and she eventually wins Rowan over with her charm and sincerity. She says she admires the fire within Rowan, and she understands how frustrating it must be to deal with her brother and the other people in the realm who don't respect her power. She also says that, like Rowan, she would do anything to protect the realm and keep its people safe, and that's why she used the enchanted sleep to slow the Phyrexian invaders. Ariat says it's regrettable that the magic continues to spread, but even so, you can't deny things are more
regrettable as if she didn't set up the whole thing herself, which we know because we watched the final battle, and that's exactly what happened.
Peaceful, and people are finding happiness in their dreams. And isn't that better in a way? While Rowan ponders this, Ariat drops
Why is she
more
pondering
bombshell.
this?
She's the sister of the witch that gave birth to the twins, which makes her Rowan's aunt. And she tells Rowan she's got witch blood within her, which she should learn to embrace. Overwhelmed by this connection and feeling...
Which is very clearly are a actual species or some specific thing in Magic, because it's very clear that they just aren't good people. There's a reason why they're treated negatively.
Held to use her power to help the realm find peace, Rowan pledges herself to Ariat, while Ashiok watches from the corner.
And this is why Rowan should not be the queen, because she's actively pledging herself to a witch who is like universally known to be like negative. And we know later on through future knowledge that she is in fact proved to be negative as a witch. and she acts like a witch.
We then rejoin Kellen and Ruby, who are climbing their way up the beanstalk.
All right.
Helping them with this is
Nice.
their new friend and my personal insert character for Eldraine, Troyan of Adelkin from
Probably because he's fucking bald.
Ravnica, brought here by Omenpath. Yeah, I'm not really sure if Chillane is still alive at this point, so I guess now I'm the bald guy who added 2 extra letters to my first name and took it for his own. Anyway, the trio reaches the top of the beanstalk and makes their way into the giant's cloud castle, hoping everyone will be asleep since it's the middle of the night. Of course, that would be too easy, so the giants are wide awake and having a party, which means our heroes have to time their steps to the music to avoid getting squashed underfoot by the waltzing behemoths. It's a fun scene with some playful banter, and Kellen takes a moment to reflect on how far he's come from his own little hamlet, where sheep outnumber humans. He's really happy to be with people he already considers his friends, and now if he could just find that missing mirror. Unfortunately, before they can locate it, they are caught by Baluna Grandsquall, who is very unhappy to find pests in her home during her own birthday party. Fortunately, before Baluna can toss them out, she is stopped by Lord Yorvo, a giant known to be friendly to humans and other creatures smaller than himself, which is a lot of them. Yorvo
Most creatures,
Baluna to let Kellen and his friends use the mirror because he loves a good quest, and so they head to the bedroom where the mirror is stored. Ruby explains that the mirror won't tell them where the second witch is located unless they tell the mirror something it doesn't know in return. And Troyan helps out by revealing he wasn't born here in Eldraine. The mirror considers this a worthy trade and reveals the location of the next witch. So we're off to Loch Laren.
What would you tell the mirror that it doesn't know?
First, though, is a brief stop at Ruby's home, where stories about Kellen and Ruby are already spreading. The tale of how they defeated the man-eating witch is now a puppet show, and kids in the street dress in cloaks with red hoods, copying Ruby's style. Peter gives them his warmest gear and says there's no shame in asking for help, but Kellen is set on proving he's worthy of the boon Lord Talion has promised him, and so he and Ruby set off for the lands frozen by the witch called Hilda. After some travel time, they reach Hilda's ice castle and attempt to approach it before the witch's disembodied voice warns them to stay away. The wind picks up and the temperature drops, but Kellen and Ruby press onward, trying to reach the castle gate. They are stopped by frost guardians, and things look bleak until Kellen takes out his weapons. These are a pair of basket hilts, given to him by Lord Talion, but he hadn't figured out how to make them work until now. In desperation, he swings with the hilts, and they suddenly emit glowing blades, which slice through the icy elementals. Kellen makes short work of those guards, but his moment of kindled heroism fades as the cold consumes him. He falls to the ground, exhausted. Ruby scoops him up and carries him forward, refusing to quit, even as Hilda continues to challenge her. The witch asks why she would risk her life for this boy, to whom she owes nothing. And Ruby simply says, it's the right thing to do, and people don't have to owe each other anything to help each other.
Nice.
Trudges through the snow, carrying and then dragging Kellen as her own limbs start to lock up from the cold before being reduced to just crawling through the castle gate.
Goddamn.
She is met by Hilda, who is impressed by the compassion shown. Hilda realizes her desire to find protection through isolation has caused her to miss out on relationships like this, and so she gives the children a magical kiss to protect them from further harm.
Damn, she just loves
Ruby passes out, but soon wakes again.
Damn, she just loves kissing kids.
Inside the castle, where Hilda is eager to speak with her and Kellen, who is also present and recovering from the cold. Kellen warns Hilda they already killed Agatha, and Hilda says, yeah, she probably deserved that. She explains how her sisters always sought power, while she just wanted to be left alone. She then offers the children her crown to use as proof of her defeat.
Whoa, that looks cool. Okay, hold on 1 second. I just need to quickly do something. With my email. Oh, interesting. I was invited to a Magic the Gathering pop-up. I'll check that out. But first, let me take a selfie. But first, can't I go there? I wouldn't mind checking out the Magic the Gathering London pop-up. I have to check when it's happening. It's happening today? No, there's no way they're saying it's happening today, right? 9th to the 12th of July. Okay, next week. Oh, it's like dead on centre of London. Oh, it's next to Covent Garden. Okay. It's actually quite easy for me to get to. Nice. I might just register now. Minute 1-to-1 accessible gameplay session located. 1-to-1 gameplay session located. New pop-up. I really want to go. That's really cool. The problem is I don't have a deck box, so I need to find a way to. I'm probably gonna have to buy a deck box in that case. Okay, hold on one moment. I need to take a call because something won't work. I tried using my laptop to go into here. Hold on. Scene. Give me 1 moment. All right, I'm back. Let's continue with Hilda's story.
Feet with Lord Talion. She says without it, she cannot maintain a large ice castle, just a small house for herself, and she promises not to threaten anyone anymore. In fact, she says
She's a
she has
bit
one
too
other
kind.
gift for Kellen and Ruby.
But then again, she is, of course, Hilda the Good Witch.
It is a gift of information. She says the next time they speak to the Fey Lord, they should know the truth. She reveals that Lord Talion worked with the three witches to enact the sleeping spell, which would have been too big for any of them to do alone. And now, Talion is using the kids to clean up the mess the Fae helped create.
Not the
Sure enough, as
greatest.
soon as they step outside Hilda's melting castle, there is a door waiting to take them to Lord Talion. Kellen expresses
Not the
displeasure
most
at being lied
wonderful
to,
thing.
and the Lord says it wasn't really a lie so much as maybe an omission of detail. But either way,
Wasn't so much as a lie, more of go fuck yourself.
the realm still needs to be saved, and the final task is to defeat Ariat. The promise of revealing Kellen's father also remains valid if the kids are able to complete the quest. With tears in his eyes, Kellen accepts, and we enter the final chapter of the story,
Tears?
which opens
What?
at Castle Ardenvale.
Did I miss something?
Make their way inside and are at first happy to see Rowan Kenrith in the throne room. They figure she made her way here to defeat Ariat, saves them.
That would make so much sense, wouldn't it?
To have a skilled and powerful knight already here to help them. Rowan is standing in front of a lectern covered with notes, and she is not happy to see the kids suddenly appear in the room. She tells them to leave before Kellen is able to read a slip of paper that says, Attempt 23. Haven't been able to put anyone to sleep except the old-fashioned way. As Kellen realizes what this means, there is a brilliant white flash, and the next thing he knows, he's waking up in the castle prison, sharing a cell with Ruby. Ruby tells him Rowan tried to cast a spell on him while he was out, but got interrupted by the arrival of the cavalry and had to leave the kids. Ruby overpowered their guards and even got their weapons back already, so the pair go off to find Rowan again. Sure enough, up in the throne room, a battle is already playing out. Will has arrived, along with his knights, which now
Will!
include Imogen, and Ariat
Yay.
is using her sleepers to fight them off. While Ariat has numbers, Will has tactics, and so Rowan tries to make up the difference by adding her raw power to the battle, since Ashiok has already left to attend matters on another plane. Rowan and Will come face to face, and she tries to explain that Ariat is their aunt, and they have witch blood, and by working together, they can grant the realm a peaceful existence. Will is not really moved by any of this. He is
Good.
sad his sister has strayed so far from what their father taught them, and he begs her to let this all go and come home to be with their younger siblings before it's too late to undo everything. Rowan then realizes Kellen and Ruby have returned and are attacking Ariat directly, so she leaves Will to go save the witch. She tries to blast her way through the rest of the knights, but her attacks are
rough.
stopped by a wall of ice conjured by her brother, who tells her plainly
Very
that
cool
this
anime style
isn't
stuff,
gonna
but
work. Rowan then turns to attack Will again.
promos.
This
Hold on,
time,
promos for
she's
what?
stopped
Wanda.
by Imogen,
Well,
who
it's
says,
Japanese, so it's
"Don't
gonna be
you
like
get it?
something
He's
fire.
gonna be the one to reunite the realm. Even I can see that now." Rowan says, well, Will isn't the only one with friends, as Ashiok
my laptop.
emerges from the shadows and assumes control of the sleepers, who now move.
So I'm not saying much today. There isn't. He's doing it so well and so fluidly. I can't say anything. It's just class. This man is too good at his job. He's too good at what he does. I'm genuinely impressed with how well he's described this. There isn't any point that I'm finding that I'm missing. I of course do have some knowledge of the groundworks of the story because I watched another video on it. But I watched a bit of one video and one other video, and it's basically he's gone through both of those videos really fluidly, really nicely. It's stunning. I love it. 10 out of 10.
And ferocity.
Oh, let me
Ashiok
like
is
this guy.
challenged by
I
Kellen,
want to sub
who
it.
manages to hold them in place long enough for Will to strike with a bolt of ice that skewers Ashiok and forces them to planeswalk away.
Nice.
Ruby,
Fuck
meanwhile,
Ashiok.
gets close enough to Ariat to put a knife to her throat, and Rowan realizes the battle is all but lost.
Loki, Ruby should just killed her there. I don't know why she didn't kill her, but she killed the other one. Just kill her.
Through a final bit of curse magic, Ariat tells Rowan to flee and bide her time. She says this isn't over yet, and these people are too soft to kill her, so they'll get another
Minding that Ruby did go to kill her. But that's the oddest thing about this to me.
chance, but only if Rowan isn't caught too. So Rowan fires off a huge thunderbolt, which launches her upwards and out of the castle, allowing her
Basically, she does a bazooka jump. Got you.
to escape, while Ariat is taken into custody by Will and his surviving knights. Things start to wrap up. Kellen returns to the land of the Fae, and then home to his small village where he chats with his mom. He says
Mom.
he told Talion he would rather
you
hear
been
the
fucking-
truth about his father from his mom when she thought he was ready. And Mom agrees that time is now. She explains how long ago she met an enchanting Fae named Oko, who confided in her that he wasn't from Eldraine, but wanted to learn all about it from a beautiful woman. Over the years, they fell in love and eventually had a child.
They fucked.
But Oko was too much of a
They fucked.
free spirit to stay here on Eldraine, and he eventually
Basically, he's a bit of a manhole. No, basically, he's just, Ade.
began to hate the place when he learned how poorly people treated the mother of his child. Finally, about 3 years ago, he came back to Kellen's mother one more time,
Oh?
but by then she had settled into her life and realized she would never be the queen Oko wanted her to be. At the very least,
That's
this
unfortunate.
explains his obsession with causing mischief on Eldraine, which
True.
was a major part of the story on our first visit here.
I would have liked to know
Mother
more about
wanted
Eldraine's
to tell
story,
him
but
everything
I
he needs
just-
to know about his
I get that it's a
future.
fantasy world. So there's a limit to how much energy I have to explore it, because I feel like, why don't I just read the actual stories?
His father, but that night, Kellen is unable to sleep. He finds himself wondering why Oko never revealed himself to him, and feared he might have been unworthy of his father's love and attention.
That's quite sad.
So Kellen
I can't lie though. I know that I probably felt like that when I was younger, so I do understand where he's coming from. It's sad though.
takes a walk outside to clear his head, and almost as if answering his own doubts, he comes across an omen path. Without knowing where it will lead, Kellen steps through it, eager to prove himself ready for more
Very headstrong. It is unfortunate though that like this could have gone terribly for him.
adventures. The final scene is between Ariat and Ashiok, who returns to the plane to visit the witch in her holding cell. Ashiok tells Ariat that Rowan is not yet ready to help them, and so they must travel far to collect new servants and learn new powers. Ariat readily agrees.
That is very
and
worrying.
things fade to black, with the cell left empty, implying Ashiok had a way to transport Ariat off the plane. And that's it. That's what happens in Wilds of Eldraine.
Now it does get me thinking that maybe. Never mind. I genuinely forgot what I was going to say.
Will and Rowan Kenrith disagree on how best to help the plane after the Phyrexian invasion. Rowan sets off to find answers for the magical sleep that grips the realm, while we meet a boy named Kellen.
She's just not an appealing protagonist to me.
His own father. Kellen befriends Ruby, and together they seek to complete a quest given by a fairy named Lord Talion. Kill 3 witches, which are responsible for the enchanted slumber. This ultimately leads to a confrontation between Rowan and Will, where their aunt, a witch named Ariat, is working with the planeswalker Ashiok to keep Eldraine under their control. The resourceful Kellen and Ruby help defeat the witches and break the spell, and we learn Kellen was the child of Oko, a planeswalker who visited Eldraine.
I am quite pleased that he gives a summary at the end of this. It's a nice addition to add for someone who didn't watch it properly or just missed out some details, because they were so focused on the details they didn't like have a proper image built up for themselves.
Many times in the past. With the slumber curse dispelled, things are looking bright for the plane, but Rowan is still out there, and Ariat and Ashiok might also be on the loose, leaving Will in an
Find out what happens next time on Dragon Ball Magic the Gathering.
Uncomfortable spot as he continues to do his best to reunite the realm and rebuild after the Phyrexian invasion. Kellen, meanwhile, takes his first step.
Rowan really thinks that she's fucking Kai from Lego Ninjago.
Into the multiverse thanks to a convenient omen path. It's a story filled with young heroes looking to make a name, and tired planeswalkers haunted by the loss of their friends and family, looking to restore order to a fractured world. I think the story spotlight cards do a pretty good job showing the major events this time around, but as always, there's some room for improvement, which we shall address in a little segment I like to call the Mustache Minute.
Alright, get ready for the Mustache Minute. I'm looking forward to the Mustache Minute.
Ready? Here we go. Ashiok has more presence in the cards than they do in the story. We've got several cards with a nightmare theme to them, which implies Ashiok was actively engaging in attacking folks, or that the people in the enchanted sleep were having a bad time. But Ariat tells Rowan pointedly that this isn't the case. Everyone sleeping is supposedly at peace, and while their bodies do enter combat under Ariat's control, they're still just their regular self, not a nightmare like we see on cards. So it's an odd disconnect, and it kind of takes away from the lure of Ariat's promise. Rowan sides with the witch because she truly wants people to be at peace. But if there were nightmares everywhere, like the cards show, then Rowan probably wouldn't believe Ariat.
Well, you'd hope so. You'd hope so. Rowan isn't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Right? I like that Ruby got to have a legendary card in the set, even if it is somewhat underpowered thanks to being an uncommon. Her brother wasn't so lucky, since he's the generic Agatha's champion, but I understand they wanted to give all 10 color pairs a signpost for draft. So, my favorite new character is definitely Troyan, not just because we look like twins separated at birth, but because he's a great example of how omen paths can affect the story without being the central focus.
Streets of Ravnica were stifling. Eldraine is an endless adventure paved in gold.
He's obviously an outsider to this world, but it is his home for now, and even though Kellen is suspicious of him at first, his skills end up being super useful.
He looks cool.
That's a lot of fun.
He looks like Chaos, but as an adult.
Sparked planeswalker in this set, which was Ashiok, who showed up to, I don't really know. They were said to be entering Arius, but
I don't
then they
fucking
had
know.
to leave to attend business elsewhere, only to return at a crucial moment in the final chapter.
Actually, it's a
They
plot point.
left again, then came back again to
Yeah.
rescue Arius.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt really random, and I don't think it added anything to the story, but I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Also, on the card,
It seems like they're setting stuff up, but with
we had
nothing.
several of these werefox people with flavor text mentioning a place called Redtooth Keep, but we never go there nor get any information about it. So while that's fine in
Like lots of like set up stuff, but nothing done with them. They're just there. Oh, cool. Werewolves? Sure, whatever.
a world building sense,
Or
it feels
werefoxes.
kind of tacked on to me, and that's too bad because the Wilds already had such a great vibe to it. It didn't really need random mysteries like this. The fairies are cool, still showing up in multiple colors, each with their own sort of personality. You got helpful ones, dangerous ones, and ones that are just straight up annoying. We've also got Rankle's prank, but I'm not sure what to make of that because he doesn't appear anywhere in this story. So I guess we just have to assume he's somehow survived the events in Aftermath and is now misbehaving off camera. We also
Mm-hmm.
never learn what becomes of Lord Talion. Were they punished for their involvement in the slumber curse? I can't say.
No, I
Ultimately, the
fucking do.
parallels in this story are some of the best bits. We've got Will and Rowan driven apart as family, while we've got Kellen and Ruby coming closer together as friends. Rowan and
And
Kellen
maybe
are
more.
competing to prove they've got what it takes to save the realm, and are doing so in the shadow of their father figures. Wilds of Eldraine manages to be a melting pot of other fairy tales while still basically being one itself, which is really
Honestly, this set, the way it's being described, the storytelling in it, it really makes me feel like it has the same problem as my Magic decks. Too much random bullshit that just isn't necessary to the main goal of the deck. Like, yeah, focus on the storytelling. Focus on this random like Jack and the Beanstalk story. Don't bring in werefoxes. Don't do that. Don't do this. Just focus on the actual story. Don't stray off the path. If you're gonna add things, make it include filler for other stuff. Have the nightmares just be some of the I don't know, some of the random dreamers. Maybe instead of having so many nightmare cards, have some like positive mind dreams. It almost seems like they've added cards that would be in the next Eldraine set.
cool. I'm quite happy with how believable characters act and how clear their motivations are. Agatha wants to eat people, Hilda wants to be left alone, and Ariat wants power.
What we doing here? I'm just watching Magic the Gathering lore. I like to do that occasionally. I've done it for the past few days. So, heat wise, it's pretty chill actually. I was working earlier today and it got a bit hot, like 4 hours in it, near like the last 2 hours of work, but at the start it was rather cool. And I was working outside as well, doing some cleaning of someone's house. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. Right now though, I don't really feel the heat, but I do see a lot of sunlight outside, so I imagine it is, a little bit hot, but nothing too crazy. Everything good at your place?
The revelation that there was a fourth sister who connected them to the Kenrith twins kind of stretches the premise a bit, but it did give Rowan a reason to want to work with her aunt, so I think it evens out. And then we've got Kellen and Oko, which was a pretty efficient way to justify the Fae's meddling in affairs on Eldraine 3 years ago. Having him fall in love with a local, only to become angry at a world for not loving her the same way he did, explains his actions, even if we don't agree with them. The
I don't know
missing
what he
piece
did,
here for a
so
lot of
I really don't know what he did.
people, I'm sure, is Garrick, who we haven't seen since our previous visit to the plane. He's supposed
Don't
to
know
be
who
out
any of these
there
people are.
hunting for Oko and protecting the Kenrith twins,
Mm-hmm.
but perhaps his spark is also ruptured and he is now stranded
That is
somewhere
rough.
in the multiverse.
I would hope to
Oh,
see
and
an
other
actual
uncommon
thing on that.
legends don't appear anywhere in the story either, but that's fine because you can take them and you can tell your own fairy tales with a twist. But where will you start? Will you help Kellen?
I can't lie. Area is a really good card. If I get silver card, I'm definitely gonna want to use that. Hilda looks really interesting, so I wouldn't mind checking her out. Love creature control, get +1/+0 for each aura and equipment attached to Kellen and Fae. Honestly, red, white, black with Area and Kellen in it would be spectacular. Hydro Willpower, that's sponsored. Oh damn, it's a bit wet for you. I need to actually fill up my water bottle soon because I haven't had any. Ugh, my legs are still tired though. I was standing up like washing a ceiling, so I don't want to get up.
Explore beyond Eldraine? Will Hilda finally make a friend? Or will Ashiok and
Hilda needs some goddamn friends. Oh yeah, by the way, Ashley Prashan. I think you'd enjoy to know this, but the Gurren Lagann. I bought a Gurren Lagann Gunpla and a Zen Gun Gunpla for like 80 quid. And they should be arriving in like 2 to 3 weeks. So there's going to be probably a series of streams where it's just building Gunpla again once that arrives. I had some work, so I got some money to order it. I think I need to pay for it because they haven't taken my money. But yeah, that's going to be good. Actually, give me 1 second so I just can quickly check the details behind that. Just to make sure. I'm going to go to the pop-up in London for Magic the Gathering hopefully as well. Where is it? Order recombined. Yeah. Plybot, the Zengun and Gurren Lagann models. I've got a G-Quox Machu acrylic stand and some Gilgamesh sleeves. What's this? Payment request. Payment link. Is this the right thing? Charged amount 17,534 yen. That should be £80 ish, maybe a bit less. You know, since I'm here, I might as well pay for it. Let's see, how much is that? I'm using Revolut, obviously, because otherwise that'd be good. Getting the G for it to complete trio. No, not yet. I'll be completely honest with you. I did not like Nyan. There is some irony in that. Hold on, but I didn't like her. However, I bought a promo pack for G-Quox because I like my card games. And the character I got from the promo pack, she's fallen a lot because I keep knocking stuff over on my shelf because I have no motor controls. I got Nyan from that pack, which is quite ironic. My least favorite character in that story. I swear to God. But yeah, put over there. I might one day get her. Maybe when I visit Japan, so it's cheap as fuck. I don't know. I have to look into somewhere else. To be fair. All right, let me just pay for this so that we can confirm 100% it's coming. I don't want to delay it too much. Payment complete. The order will now be queued for shipping preparation. And that is 8186. Not hate, but kind of confusing. Yeah, she's just a bit. Hate might be a strong word. She feels confusing, and that's probably where my anger towards her comes from. It's like, why do you behave this way? But yeah, if I wanted to buy, by the way, if I wanted to buy what I just bought in the UK, it would cost me £130, I think. The acrylic stand would have cost me like £15. The sleeves would have cost me £10, somewhere between £6 and £10, and then both of the Gundams would have cost me 60 if I got lucky, but I wouldn't have, and like 70 to £80. What? I'm looking to talk about the elephant in the chat. Bonus, this motherfucker. Prashan, I'm sorry, he's jealous. That is my wife, unfortunately. Or at least that's what he wants to be. Anyway, so that's done. Hobbies. That is so much cheaper. Holy fuck. Like you were talking about with the Akatsuki. Akatsuki Gundam. Alright, hold on. Hold on, let me bring this fucking thing up. Let me switch back over to the scene. Okay. Akatsuki Gundam. Yeah, that's not a little. See, what I said was a little bit of gold with black. Not gold with a little bit of black. I mean, if this was there, that would have been fire. Oh, it's only $24.99 as well. That's actually not too bad. Maybe that's a future buy. It looks pretty cool. I guess it's called the Akatsuki because it's meant to be like the sun. Um, yeah, I know Japanese. No, I don't. All right, let's get back into it. I guess I can watch more video, and then I think that's me for today. Also, side note, if anyone knows, vice versa, if anyone knows tips for painting or drawing on laptop covers or on the back of a laptop, do give me some advice. I recently got a laptop because uni, disability, and what I want to do is I want to add one of those paintings to it. It says wanted a Harris to my personal iteration of Daemon Targaryen, mother of his. That's fine. Please don't say that ever again. Please never say that again. Oh my days. All right, let's continue on. Also, I can't lie. The guy whose video I was watching before, I think I prefer his storytelling method a lot more than Hey for Help. I like this guy's useful though. So, I have a Lenovo, one of these, and I want to on this screen. I want to paint something on it. Like, I don't know if I have to buy paint pens or if I have to just use normal paint. I'm not sure how to do it, but I'm probably gonna have to like stand it down, and I want to paint like a scene on it. Currently, because I was watching the mask last, something to do with the mask last night. My thought process is the mask, but with but if Simon the digger wore it. But what laptop is it? It's a Lenovo. Does it say? IdeaPad. Yeah, Lenovo IdeaPad. I think it's IdeaPad 1. I'm not sure. Really smudged it, I can't lie, but that's unfortunate. Yeah, let's get into the video. Because I like this woman. I think she's valid as fuck for everything she's done. And I do wonder what happens next.
Stone fragments in the sky of Zendikar. She watches the Phyrexian invasion below, spreading viscous oil and mechanical seeds, withering the green earth below.
Well, why does this sound like Manny talking about how he wants my seed?
Nahiri only ever wanted to protect her home.
Good laptop. It looks interesting. I need to like properly get it started and stuff. Took me ages to load through it. Even though I skipped some of the downloading process.
And soon Zendikar would be at peace, just like all the other planes brought under the unity of New Phyrexia.
Why is bro yapping about fucking Phyrexians?
Changed the plane before to calm the royal and protect it from the Eldrazi, but she didn't succeed. She was wiser now, understanding that she must resculpt Zendikar, chip away at its impurities and impulses until only perfection remained. Nahiri closed her eyes, reaching for her lithomancy to the Hedron network. This would be her access point to tear open the rifts between planes, to turn the trickling Phyrexian invasion into a cascade. She looks down at her arms. Phyrexian symbols glow on stone blades that replaced her hands. She smiles, realizing she had been sculpted too, sculpted into something better.
Alright, skipping straight ahead. We've watched him before, so do just a reminder, this is A for Hub. He does magic videos. I don't think he does them anymore, but you know, some of the stuff is good.
Horrors created by the mechanical invaders, Akiri found solace in line slinging. She felt a guilty relief.
Okay, who is doing drugs? Who is this person?
Invaders, Akiri found solace in line slinging. She felt
the blotware and other Microsoft related bullshit if you are on Windows 11. It's gonna take me so long, but yeah, I do need to do that. God, they're so annoying with it. Everything is constantly filled up with so many things. Try laptop skins, that's the first time. Laptop skins, what is this? Oh, is this like a tape sort of thing? Yeah, print, whatever. Okay. Maybe I can make like a custom one with a personal drawing or something. That might be the way to go. I'm not sure. Really depends on what I want to do with it. Yeah, your design here, so I could do that theoretically. Alright, I might try that then, yeah.
A guilty relief to be away from the battle at Seagate, to be swinging and grappling through the air instead. She was going to investigate a vision that Tazri had of hedrons aligning, connecting with oil, and a solemn figure in the middle of it all. It certainly wasn't much to go on, but Tazri had protected Zendikar many times by leading troops against the Eldrazi, so...
Specify the model as well, okay. Yeah, I guess when I'm looking it up, I will specify that my laptop is. Did I get censored release me? Yeah, I'll make sure to do that when I'm on the site. I'm sure they'll have, depending on what site I use, they'll have something like some sort of text to describe it.
With that, Akiri
Describe it for me to put in what kind of model it is.
She hears scrambling and sees Aura, the core cleric, and Kaza, the human wizard, climb up onto a cliff with...
I kind of mess with that. Like, she's got the rope attached to a wand. It's kind of fire. I like it. I like the moves that she's taken.
The angel Linvala glided out in the distance. They had all insisted on helping Akiri, desperate for any scrap of hope. Akiri searches on, deftly swinging from treacherous debris to crumbling hedrons, attuned to everything around her. She catches a flicker in the distance, a core woman covered in glowing symbols, her arms not ending with hands but long burning blades. Nahiri the Planeswalker had returned to Zendikar, a foe this group had faced once before, and with unbridled dread, Akiri realizes that Phyrexia had gained the upper hand. They had been fighting ceaselessly for days, and still the Phyrexians kept coming.
Wait. What are we fucking talking? Why are we going over this? We know this information already. I don't care. I want Nahiri's fate. What is all this filler information?
Across the room of corpses is another door. The adventurers can hear humming and crumbling stone beyond it, and knew Nahiri was in there. Okay. They pushed the door open to reveal the Planeswalker, completed and embedded into the Skyclave's heart. The ancient core chamber around them had been transformed into white metal, and red sinew clinging to the gray stones, oil streaming to the floor.
The problem with skipping is when someone is doing a very story-based format, is I simply do not know what the fuck is going on whenever I do this. But oh well, we push forwards.
Eyes fixed on Akiri with recognition, her mouth twisting into a smile. Akiri throws a knife at the Planeswalker's throat, but a stone slams it to the ground. Tazri charges, dodging more slabs of stone, until the floor itself throws her into the air. She topples to the ground, inches away from a pool of black oil reaching towards her. From the corner of her eye, she sees her friends dodging the flying debris with difficulty. They couldn't reach Nahiri. Their hair...
You know, she reminds me of the, was it the Makwi people's tattoos? You know how they, like, what is it, something like every year they'll spend like days getting tattoos done to imprint on them in all these like unique patterns. Something about this image reminds me of it. Also, I wonder who the model they use for this is, because this image makes her look like she's someone Chinese was used as the model. Gonna have to leave you guys now. That someone has stole my seed incubator. This motherfucker. And I find that I'm much too depressed about my real estate. Take care today, Ollie. Text me. Okay, baby. Text you later. That's how I feel. Anyway. Seed incubator is just a crazy, like, description for me, but alright.
And skin, singing and dancing from the Planeswalker's power.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get over that in the next, couple minutes. It's just going to be stuck on my mind.
Zendikar was lost. The halo around Tazri's neck began to burn, and suddenly everything was bright and gleaming. Aura stared at his corrupted hand in shock as the oil was burned away. Then looked at the glowing halo around Tazri's neck. Nahiri screams as Linvala's radiance stuns her power. The boulders she had been hurling at them floated idle in the air. The oil on the ground began to dry up, and the burning runes on Nahiri's skin dimmed. One last time, they charged the completed Planeswalker.
The runes are pretty heat, though. I can't lie. Like they do genuinely look really cool. But maybe she needs to have hands again.
Kaza throwing spells to distract her, while Akiri bound her arms with grappling hooks.
I do wonder, to be fair, like, what is the reason that they consider sword hands to be better than just having normal hands? Since the main reason that humans developed to have intelligent, or one of the peak reasons, was we have thumbs. And, you know, swords aren't thumbs.
Tazri knows her sword will be useless against Nahiri's now metal body, so she grabs the halo around her neck and hurls it at her enemy. There's a flash, and the keystone breaks, dropping the Lithomancer from its embrace.
And then there is a crack and a boom. If you know what I'm referencing. Which in the 18... To be fair, she did just kind of massacre their people for the goal of perfecting them. I love Nahiri, but as a Phyrexian, she is like... It's like she's a Frowl of a vampire. She is literally mentally in a different space. So maybe she does deserve the Salem treatment. I can't lie.
She's no longer its linchpin.
I think it's basically just because blue people don't like white people. That could literally just be it.
The skyclave cracks, knocking everyone
Bluists.
The floor beneath them began to collapse, so they ran, dodging metal and stone falling from the ceiling. When they reach the open air, Akiri secures a grappling hook and grabs Tazri. Kaza pulls Aura up onto her flying staff, and they all jump. They land safely on a ledge that is
I love this HD image of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
stable. Looking back, they see the Emeria Skyclave collapsing and smashing the mechanical troops on the ground.
You know, I said that as a joke, but it genuinely does remind me of the Eastern Air Temple. It's the Eastern Air Temple, right? Not the Southern. Might be the Northern Air Temple.
The sky now glows with iridescent light, no longer red and greasy. The odds were always against them, but now they had found hope. Though none of the adventurers could confirm Nahiri's demise, a collapsing skyclave...
This looks like an AI-generated band photo for, like, not like a rock group, but a group that thinks they're indie, but sounds like every single pop group in existence. You know? I can't give you a specific group, but that's them. That is that group.
It would prove a difficult thing to survive.
It also feels like they're all looking for the camera, and only one of them found it.
Oh, Akiri noted that Nahiri was as tough as stone.
Immediately locks
without
in.
any sign of a body, none could be sure of her ultimate fate. What they did know was that the once orderly and efficient New Phyrexian troops had begun acting erratically, as if they were no longer following orders. If Nahiri was commanding them, she was no longer. Without a body, that was at least a promising sign. And there you guys go, the real final chapter.
I can't lie, I was expecting there to be a little bit more. I don't know. For a thing called The Lost Fate of Nahiri, the fact that the only thing that focused on Nahiri post the Phyrexian War being, what, 3 minutes? Not the best. Not the best. I'm not listening to his conclusion. Previous chapter. Hell no. Alright. What time is it now? It's 5. I think we've got it down now for what happened to Will and Rowan. Unless this goes past the Eldraine. Long after Wilds of Eldraine. Likely beyond the... What do you mean, likely? Wilds of Eldraine and the rest is future predictions. Alright, so we're going to ignore this one as well. Because as much as I like them, I do not care for Wilds of Eldraine, Will and Rowan. Well, specifically Rowan. What else? Okay, then we're going to be going over those. So I guess next video is to go over Jace and Ajani. Then over this Archmage fella. And then we're going to be I'm going to have like a couple videos where I just focus on Tarkir. And then straight into that. Alright. Also, side note, another thing for you, Frashan, I am planning to just go through stuff and just watch it. Obviously, I'm going to finish off thingy. What's the name? Iron Blooded Orphans. I'm going to try and finish that off first, but I think I'm going to move on to After War Gundam. Well, I'm probably going to move on to Gundam X, and I'll just watch it on this channel. But yeah, also for the thing I was planning to put on my laptop, it was going to be this version of the mask, like specifically the one that looks like this. I do need to. I definitely need to read the Mask comics because I do not know enough about the actual Mask. As much as I genuinely enjoy the movie, but he's a very funky faced guy. Anyway, I think that is that for today. Yeah, tomorrow should be normal times. Just a bit late today because I had work until like 3, so couldn't exactly come for free. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll probably go into more depths of Magic the Gathering. I'm just not feeling doing anything else right now. The other option is that tomorrow, if I'm feeling a little bit more active, a little bit more energetic, I will try and focus on. Yeah, the comic looks a lot more dark and mature. I think it's meant to be one of those perspectives on like a comedic character in like a dark setting sort of thing. Kind of like how Shinra has his whole laughing or sorry, smiling when he's anxious in a world that is very, very serious. The moment he's in a serious situation, he is forced to smile. I think that's that sort of premise of like against the narrative of the world. I need to rewatch that movie. But yeah, also another option is that I could just do an art stream and have that focus on me just thinking of what I could do with my laptop, what I could design for it. But yeah, let's have another image of this. Yeah, no, I want to get it done. I've been putting off Fire Force, watching Fire Force for the past several months since that came out. I don't want IBO to be another one of those. I've read all of Fire Force, so I do know everything about Fire Force, but I haven't I haven't finished watching it. Anyway, as much as I'd love to watch this beautiful this musical with you, I do have to head off now. So I will see you and anyone else watching and anyone who watches in the future later. Have a good night, evening, morning, day, whatever it be for you. And yeah, ta-ta. Hopefully I'll have IDO done by tomorrow, you know? All 2 seasons or 3 seasons. It's 2 seasons, right? Anyway, wait a couple seconds just in case anything comes through, and then I'm gonna dip. The 2 seasons only. Yeah, I feel that. I watched a few seasons and I just can't. Bye bye. Alright, I'm gonna dip now.